Hi, my name is Doukas and I'm going to unbox my new Jinbei HD-610 monolight. So let's see what I have here. So here is the carrying case. It has handle on top. It's hard cover and very well padded, so it will protect your gear. It has all the needed gear inside, cords, battery and flash unit, so you don't need to have extra bag for cords, for example. Inside the case there is a charger for the battery. You can't use the charger directly with the flash unit. To do that you would need an adapter that is an optional device, and you can use the optional adapter to get power from the wall to power the flash unit. Otherwise you need to charge the battery and then use the battery to operate. But the good thing is that the battery actually lasts very long, so actually I haven't been using the adapters even though I have them, because the battery runs so long time. And then you have here the sync cable. It's 3.5mm sync cable, and the case won't have any trigger inside, so trigger is an optional you can purchase if you don't have the Jinbei trigger, but you can still use the sync cable with the flash unit. Then you have the battery, and with this battery you can flash with full power up to 450 times, so it lasts really long time. And in this battery you have the test button you can use to test the charge level of the battery, and it has 4 LED lights which will tell you from 1 to 4 the level of the charge. And inside you have also the manual, and it comes with 3 languages. There is Chinese, English and German guidance. And then you have the flash unit. The flash unit is really sturdy. It has a handle for carrying it. It's very well built and feels like a quality product. It has a slot for battery on top, and you have 2 rails on both sides where you actually slide the other end of the battery, and then you just press the other end until it clicks, and then it's ready to operate. No cords, no hassle with separate cords as you would have in a studio lights without the battery. On the bottom you have the attachment for the light stand. There you have a protective screw to make sure it won't fall accidentally off from the light stand. All the knobs here and screws are really sturdy and doesn't feel like it's going to break if you are, a little bit rough with them. Here you have the protective cup, and you can get it off by sliding the button on the side and then turning the cup a little bit counterclockwise. This has Bowen's locking system here for soft boxes and other gear you might attach there. Here is glass dome that is protecting the flash tube, and it has this milky sanded surface on top that will distort the light. But this is really good because in previous versions you didn't have this, and there was a bare flash tube, and when you attached softboxes you needed always to be extra careful not to break the tube. So I really appreciate this addition in 610. Then in the center you have the 20 watt LED light that is for modeling light. It's really bright, and you could actually use it even for video lighting. On the back you have the user interface, which is really easy and clear. Here you have the power button, and you power it on by pressing the power button twice. And it turns on very fast, so you don't need to wait for a long time. Now it's already ready to shoot. And there is LCD screen, which is really bright and clear, crisp, easy to read even outside in bright conditions. You have here on the center you have this big knob, which is two function button. You can turn it to adjust the settings, as I'm doing now. I'm increasing or decreasing the power. In the menus I use this to change the value, and then by pressing the button you can set the value. Then you have menu buttons here, 4 of them. With the leftmost one you actually scroll through the 5 menus, and with the others you can set the values. For example, there are different modes. This has manual mode and TTL mode. There is a TTL for Canon, TTL for Nikon, which you can choose depending on what camera do you have. And there are 3 sync modes you can choose from. Normal mode. Normal mode is 1/800 to 1/8000 of a second. Then there is freeze mode, which is from 1/800 to 1/19,000 of a second flash duration. And then there is high-speed sync. It has 8 f-stops. The manual says it's up to 9, but it's from 1 to 9 f-stops, so it's 8 f-stops. With high-speed sync you can use f-stops from 4 to 9, so there's 5 f-stops. And you can change the f-stops by turning this button. You can change the f-stop by 1/10 or by 1 f-stop at a time. And then there is modeling light, which you can power on from the power button, just pressing once. And it will turn on the fan. This unit has a fan to cool it down. And whenever you turn on the modeling light or you start using high-speed sync, the fan turns automatically on. Otherwise it's turning on only when the unit is getting too hot. Then you have the test button here, the green button, which you can use to test the flash. You can set the beep sound on or off. So the recycling time for this flash unit when you use full power is 2.3 seconds. The color temperature on normal mode on 5500 Kelvin area will be plus minus 150. And then on freeze mode on 5500 kelvins it will be plus minus 800. For triggering the flash unit you have 3 options. You have the 3.5mm socket for a sync cable. You have the infrared sensor in case you want to use another flashlight to trigger this one. And then you have the 2.4 GHz radio trigger option. As the model number 610 tells you, has a 600 watt-second power on full power, so you will be able to empower the daylight outside when there's, for example, sun is shining from the back of the model and you want to light the model, then this has enough power to do that. This studio flash has a weight of 3 kilos, and when you put a softbox or a beauty dish on top of that, it will be rather heavy. So you will need to have a sturdy light stand, and it wouldn't be a bad idea to have a sandbag to make sure the light stand won't fall off. The battery life has 300 charge cycle to have 80% capacity left. About 450 shots with full power, so it will last really long time. In order to trigger this unit, as I have 3 of these units at the moment, there are 2 triggers that Jinbei offers for this. One is the TR611 trigger, and this is good if you have both these 610 or similar Jinbei Studio flash units, and if you want to trigger the Kahler speed lights with the same trigger, then you need to have the 611. The 611 has a small LCD screen, and there is quite a lot of information in that screen, and there are sub-menus there. So for me it had quite a learning curve actually to be able to learn how to use this. But if you don't need to use the Kahler speed lights with your studio lights, then there is an option for you. It's the new TR-Q6, which has C for Canon or N for Nikon version, so you need to get the right version based on what camera you're using. This is actually really simple to use and very clear information on the screen, so you immediately see all the settings for different groups. You could have 3 groups A, B and C with this trigger. One light, for example, in group A, second group B, third in group C, and then you can just change the settings for each group from this trigger. Everything is very clear, everything is very easy to use, no sub-menus you need to dive in during the session for the shoot session, so it's really easy. You can choose the channels and the modes and the sync modes, high speed or manual. Everything has its own button here, so it's really easy to use and really clear to read. The limitation for this TR-Q6 is that you can use it only with the studio lights, so in case you want to use Kahler speed lights as well, then you will need the 611 instead. But as I'm using mostly these 610 studio lights or the Mars 3, then I can do it only with the TR-Q6. In case you want to use the studio flash without charging the batteries, then you can buy the optional power adapter, which actually replaces the battery. Goes to the same slot as the battery would go, and then you can have the power cord from the adapter to the wall socket, and here you have the switch you can use to power it on. So then you won't need to think about what is the charge level of the battery, and you don't need to keep charging the batteries. Although the battery is so long lasting that I haven't needed this adapter at all. But it's an option. I got 3 of these with the price of 1, comparing to one of the top brands on the market which had a similar monolight with really similar feature set, and I just couldn't justify myself putting 3 times more money to get something that is, almost the same. The quality with Jinbei with HD-610 has stepped up a lot. So this is really good, sturdy, and feels like good quality product and operates very nicely. What I can see as a difference to those higher price products is that if you need more accurate color temperature than plus minus 150 kelvins, then you would choose something else. The feature set is quite unique still in the market. There ain't so many of other competitive products that are monolith and having all these features including high-speed sync. If you like this video and want to see more of these, then please give it thumbs up, hit the subscribe button below and see you on the next video. Happy shooting!